All right, guys, so now that we've gone over so many different passes, so many different variations of the leg drag, so many different attacks from different guards, against different guards, pardon me, we're going to start to talk about guard play leg drag. So this is something that I very rarely see taught or emphasized, and I think it's such a big component of being successful with the leg drag. So the guard play leg drag is exactly what it sounds like. We're going to learn how to use guards to get to the leg drag, guards, takedowns, stuff like that. Because the leg drag presents itself more often than not, and it's not just a pass. We discussed this several times throughout the duration of this instructional thus far. Yes, you can pin people with it, control people with it, you can submit, take the back, and you can pass the guard, but you can also utilize it from the bottom to go directly into a pass. So that's what this volume is going to be about, just the concepts and the application from that, and then we're going to talk about some more specific stuff down the road. All right, guys, so now we're going to try to understand some of the same concepts and ideologies of the leg drag from the bottom. So it may seem a little bit more complex to you, it might seem a little bit more advanced, and that's completely understandable because it's going to be much more unorthodox to you guys. Guard passing is something that many of us know how to do, many of us are more comfortable doing, and it's something that many of us choose to do. But like I said, this instructional, I wanted to encompass every single little aspect of the leg drag that I could possibly think of over the last few months. And one of the biggest aspects of my personal leg drag game is finding the leg drag from bottom. And while we're going to go over specific applications from guards, so how to get to the leg drag from single leg X, how to get to the leg drag from X guard, how to get to the leg drag from De La Riva, et cetera, and that might seem more advanced to you, but it's still going to help you understand how to defend it even if you don't utilize it. Now we're going to be talking about using the leg drag and controlling somebody from bottom. Just the same concept. So let's quickly review the top concepts. So just to review, to make sense of these techniques, we have our staple leg drag where we control his leg, right? And we can be on our knee, preferably we're in this position. We have our shelf leg drag or combat-based leg drag where one leg is up. And then we have our standing leg drag. The methods of control are to keep our rib and elbow over his leg. Why? Understanding why we do something is important. To keep this leg from drawing back. So our ribs keep pressure, our elbow keeps pressure, and everything's tight. Our bottom leg hooks his bottom leg, so in this case our left leg, because we don't want him to move his leg, okay? And we keep pressure. The difference in playing the leg drag from bottom is we're not focused on upper body so much. So the leg drag from bottom, the position that you're going to want to get used to is going to seem so unorthodox and funny, is going to be this, okay? Both of our knees are under his legs. We're underneath him. Both his legs are essentially just dragged across our body, okay? As funny as this seems, it's one of the best positions from bottom. Okay, so we've obviously managed to off-balance tie, but now we want to capitalize, and rather than stand up and just try to pass his guard, we want to go directly into a passer back take. So this leg still needs to control his leg. This is our starting point, but I need to eventually turn to a single hip position. And so this is where we're going to discuss some of the important mechanics. I turn to a single hip position, and now look, most common mistake when I teach this is the wrong leg is in. You need to understand that your bottom leg, so if I'm on my right single hip position, your bottom leg is your right leg, okay? And in this case, your right leg will be doing all the work. Your left leg needs to become sticky. So see how I can control his leg? Practice trying to do that with your partner, okay? So sticky hook means I turn my knee inside to the belt and I flex my foot out so that I can control. If I'm just kind of loose here, he can move his foot really freely. But if I'm hooked tight, he tries to move his foot, it's a little bit more difficult. Okay, I follow his foot. Now, with that flexion, my elbow is going to go over his leg. Okay? So again, same concept. He wants to draw his leg back and he wants to push us away. Exactly. He gets out. But if I can stay stuck to him, now he tries to draw his leg back. Very hard. Okay, so let's go back. So we're here. We have our left leg controlling with a sticky hook. We have our elbow over his leg. We're going to grab the collar. If it's no-gi, we're just going to hug the ribs as tight as we can. Now, our right leg is going to be extremely important in this. Why? If you guys watch my half butterfly instructional or have seen any of my YouTube videos or been to any of my classes or workshops where I teach the butterfly sweep, I teach that the most important component of the butterfly sweep is also the bottom leg. So to make it more relatable, when you do a butterfly sweep and I load tie up and I fall, the most important component is this right leg, my bottom leg. It's going to make sense why I'm showing this. I lift my hip and I load tie onto me. I continue to load him. Now, once I feel his weight is way off balance, I can knock him off. Why is this so important for the leg drag? Lie back down again. Because that same concept is going to help me to solidify it. So I'm on my side again, much like the butterfly sweep. My left leg is acting as the butterfly hook. My right leg is my posting leg. Now look, I lift my hip. You see how I lift my hip? Now he tries to come into me. It's extremely difficult. It's just like a butterfly sweep. As I feel his weight is off, I extend. I use the extension to rock up, and I solidify. So very similar to a butterfly sweep. So the mechanics are so important. So let's turn this way. So again, I'm here, okay? Step one, both his legs are draped across my body. We're gonna talk about some control like this in the next one, but right now, just talking about the core principles of bottom application. Now, I'm gonna start to get up. At some point I have to. So when I get up, this hook gets really sticky. I turn to my side, these toes get ready. This elbow goes over his knee. I lift my hip and come to my knee. Look at this movement. Once I'm here, he tries to get up, I can easily knock him down. He tries to get up, it's very, very difficult. Now I extend, rock up, and I solidify my staple leg drag. I know it might seem like a lot, so I encourage you to review this. It's definitely different, but that's the purpose of this instructional. Like I said, to encompass every single little aspect of the leg drag. The bottom application is one of the most important, and to be completely honest, it's one of the most common that I use. So let's continue to elaborate. All right, guys, so now that we understand some of the basics and the control principles of applying the leg drag from bottom, let's understand how we can control an opponent and some of the different leg entanglements that we might encounter when attacking the leg drag from bottom. So we're here with Ty, and I already explained in the last technique, his legs come across my body, right? I don't want both his legs on my hip. One of his legs has to be in front of my knees, okay? Now, some of the best ways to control Ty from here are to keep a pant grip, a lapel grip, and then bring this leg over, okay? And now I'm gonna make an opposing force. I'm gonna bring my calf, my right calf down and my left leg up, okay? And now Ty tries to move his leg. It's difficult. I can even bring it up here and I can almost like lock my legs a little. But I have to be mindful that when my leg is on top of his leg, if he tries to pull my leg into outside ashi, I might have problems. So I always try to keep like a little bit of a lock. And if I feel him doing that, tries to grasp, I'm immediately moving. Some of the movements you want to get used to are pummeling, right? I want to be able to pummel. So I have to learn how to extend my left leg and retract my right so that I can pummel it in. I have to get very good at extending my left leg and turning to a hip. Okay, the pant grip can be one of my best friends because I can shove his ankle into my pocket and it's going to act as my elbow over his knee. So very similar, right? Maybe I'm here, I'm controlling him. He tries to move back, try to run away. See how I'm stuck to him? Guys, that's very important. Let's go back. You want to be able to be stuck to your opponent, all right? So when you practice this, it's very difficult, guys. Like I said, I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm tight, I'm holding. He tries to run away. Keep running away. I want to move with him at the right time. I start to come up for the leg drag. So you have to make a strong connection. So again, we're here. Both his legs are across our body. Very important is this pant grip and this collar grip because I don't want him to run away. If I don't have the collar grip, it might be hard. So again, these are just things to hold him initially. A lot of people don't really know what to do from here, right? Because it's such an unorthodox position that you can catch upper level guys because they might just try to run or push you away. So if he tries to push me away, I have to hold his leg. He tries to retract this leg. I can't let him retract this leg. Now, timing is another thing I want to discuss. In my opinion, the best timing is when your opponent tries to sit up like this. Because when he tries to sit up like this, I can shoot him back and use the momentum and the surprise element to get the pass. So I'm here, he's trying to sit up, and I can shove him back. Okay? Oftentimes from bottom, we will leg drag and we'll take the back. Okay? Another leg entanglement that's a little bit higher level that we can use is when we're here, we can make an X with our legs. So again, in this case, it's serving the same purpose. He tries to run away. I'm stuck to him. Then I bring this back, come up, and extend. So again, let's go back. So we have this leg entanglement. You can be a little higher, but keep your foot over your foot so he doesn't get outside ashi. And then we've got the X leg entanglement. Notice that when I do the X leg entanglement, I'm more on my hip. Okay? Sometimes, if you start to leg drag, right, and you feel like he's going to push you, you want to get used to keeping this hand across his body and your head all the way over here. I'm completely perpendicular. And while I haven't passed yet, I'm definitely going to pass. Right? I can do this, and I can bring my other leg in here, and I can hold him. So try to move. It's extremely difficult for him to move. So these are all small fundamental components on the bottom application that, again, I know right now you might be like, man, this is crazy. Like, this is super hard. I promise you it's not that hard. Focus on the easy ones, then slowly build, and focus on learning with lower belt level guys and also drilling it because it's super useful. Most guys. All right, guys, so we've gone over some of the control elements, the basics, and the principles on how we can attack the leg drag from a bottom position. I know right now it might not make that much sense, but don't worry, it's going to make sense when we start to see the specific application. So how we do this from single leg X, how we do it from X, how we do it from De La Riva, how we do it for reverse De La Riva, and we're going to go over some advanced stuff there, but don't fret. We also have talked about the different leg entanglements that we've been utilizing. Now we're going to talk about the ideology of hunting the leg drag from the bottom. Why put so much emphasis on hunting the leg drag from the bottom? Very simply put, I think the most difficult aspect, the most challenging aspect of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is passing the guard. There's people whose guards haven't been passed in years. Michael Lange has an amazing guard. The Miyao brothers have amazing guards. Lucas Valente has an amazing guard. There's so many. Like, I'm leaving out hundreds of people. So if you can try to pass the guard during your own guard play, you're a step ahead. You're skipping a step. You're going from sweep to pass, right? Versus from sweep to stand to pass or to attempt to pass. So when we're trying to pass with the leg drag, the ideology is just to be one step ahead. So even if a good way to see the ideology is, let's say we're standing, or let's say to relate it to guard, just there. Let's say I'm in De La Riva. Let me have this leg. Right, I'm here. I have the collar. I have the ankle. I extend tie. I sit up. I get his leg. Right, and we're in this position. Rather than go straight for a takedown, I can simply pass the guard right now. I know it might not seem that way, but this is an important concept that changed my game. Because we're in a position where I have the ability to put my body in a guard pass. So what I mean by that is if I can just kick this back, his leg is essentially dragged across my body now. Now I can pull myself in. I can do this trip. I can do an inside leg trip. There's a lot. But if I trip him and we fall, I'm putting myself directly into a guard pass. And that can be done from several different places. So stand back up. So even if I'm just here in the single leg X, right? I do a sweep, knock him down, come through. I'm putting myself into a position where I'm already past the guard. And the other reason that the ideology of hunting the leg drag from bottom is important, because even if I don't pass, so in this position, I'm going to ask Ty to scramble. Let's say he starts to get up, he scrambles. Look, I'm throwing him to where I can start to pass the guard anyway. This isn't where he wanted to end up. Now I can start to push, drop my weight, and I can start to attack from various positions. So a lot of it goes with the fact that if you're trying to hunt the leg drag from the bottom, you may or may not pass the guard. If you don't pass the guard, you may put yourself in a position where you can easily pass the guard. So that's a very important thing. The next thing that I want to discuss is that when we're attacking the leg drag from the bottom, sometimes back attacks open up, right? So for example, let's say I'm deep half. So let's say I'm here, I'm in deep half, right? I start to go here. Maybe I'm trying to get the leg drag. He knows that if he sits back, I can get the leg drag. So for example, if he sits back on me, I'm going to get the leg drag. Okay, go forward. If he doesn't sit back, maybe I can extend and start to attack his back, because I'm presenting him with a dilemma and he has an option on whether to allow me to leg drag him or take his back. And oftentimes from bottom with the leg drag, there is a huge dilemma on whether or not you allow your opponent to leg drag you or take your back. That is something that I definitely want to elaborate on in the next volume. So some important things to realize. We're hunting the leg drag because we want to put ourselves in an advantageous position when we do get up on top. So whether we establish the guard pass, the back take or not, doesn't matter. We want to present them with a dilemma if possible, where they have to choose whether we get the leg drag or the back. And it's good to get into the habit of trying to skip a step. So I hope showing that the single leg, that was the variation that my old coach years ago showed me. And I was just mind blown. I was like, oh my God, I was thinking I was a white belt or blue belt. And I was like, wow, I can literally skip a step while standing. And he's like, yeah, it's a guard pass. You're passing the guard while standing. So I hope that helps you as much as it helped me. Always, guys.